Welcome
to Sleepdrunk, where I can't breathe. Just gonna make a little statement there. So, today on the show, we're gonna do something a little interesting. Really, it's an idea I've had in my head for a little bit, but I figure that with the plans I have for the next episode, this is a good thing to do. So today we're gonna be talking about alternate career paths. I guess / majors. I guess that's the best way to put it. So
yeah, career paths.
Yeah, I think career paths, like, really was majors, but like, I mean, some people, maybe the other option is not college. Like, I know
Definitely career paths.
Yeah. Like, I triaged. I made a triage because, like, of course I did, because I'm indecisive. And one of mine is not. Actually, two of mine aren't college. So yeah. So since I have multiple lives, I'll let you go ahead and go first. Actually, do you have only one, or do you have multiple? Because we kept things secret.
I don't really have anything definitive, but okay. I have like sort of a decent answer, I suppose.
I mean, mine are like just like rough ideas. So I guess since I have multiple, I'll go first. And I've ranked them. I have a new special notebook I use for these kind of things. So just for context, so everyone's on the same page, my current pursuit is I'm pursuing a bachelor's in science and economics with a minor in mathematics. And I want to pursue a doctorate in economics and like go into the field of economics and development. So I'm going to pick... Probably going to go by preference, personally, like my personal preference. I think... Okay, Alex, first I want you to guess what my top preference would be. Out of I have 4. The last one's kind of a
meme,
but I have 4. So, what would you guess my primary?
The last one's kind of a
meme.
Oh, it's absolutely
meme.
Stripper.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the first one, like, not the last one. Like,
no, I know. I'm guessing the last one now just to be a goon.
Well, no, it is something I would actually do, but like...
Excuse me, what?
So it's
meme.
But it's like something I could see myself actually doing.
Okay, I thought you said it's something I'd actually do as in be a stripper.
Oh, no,
I was like,
no. I mean, OnlyFans I've heard is popping right now, but on the quarantine, like, if y'all want to see some thickness, hit me up.
Hit me up on OnlyFans.
I'll start an OnlyFans.
Oh my god.
If you're under 18, that's a site for big boy gamers.
Yeah.
And gaming.
Big boy gamers.
Yeah.
And gaming. Don't go there, though.
Yeah.
Need parental permission. Yes. Ask your mom.
Yeah.
Don't ask your mom.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I really don't know, honestly.
Okay.
I think you could probably go several ways. I would guess maybe your second major.
Actually, no. My first preference would probably be enlisting in the military. Probably in the Air Force.
Really?
Yeah, I mean...
I never would have guessed that.
Because when I was in high school, actually, around my sophomore year, I was strongly considering enlisting out of high school in the Air Force.
Well, if you're going to do it, the Air Force is the way to go.
I mean, in large part, it's because I think my grandfather's also a pilot, so, like, I have, like, some affinity there, and I was in marching band, so that kind of, like, trains you in the military mindset a little bit. But issue with that is...
You can go be basically any American Marine and call it the Chair Force.
Yep. I mean, actually, I saw a video of this dude on VR chat who was interviewing a military contractor for the Air Force, and he was talking about how he shot a Hellfire missile at a child, and, like, that kind of made me think about things a little bit. Like, the child in Afghanistan, like, he was next to a high-value target, but, like, they both got hit with the Hellfire missile. Links in the show notes. It's actually a very good video. Like, it's mostly pretty chill, and then in the end he's like, oh yeah, I shot a kid with a Hellfire missile. Just put that.
Just another day.
Yeah. So I picked the Air Force in large part because of my grandfather. Also because, like, I think flying a plane would be really cool, but the issue is I'd never actually be able to do it as much as I'd like to, because I am medically unfit to serve through a number of parameters, especially the Air Force. If you know me in person, you know I have very, very large glasses. And it's kind of like there's restrictions on flying a fighter jet if you have bad vision. So I don't think that would be my preference-wise the thing I'd want to do the most. But I'd probably have to get like LASIK and do a bunch of physical training before I could actually do it. So yeah, that was my first choice. So that's my other alternate path, which is probably the most likely. Like, I'd want it the least, but it's the most likely. And that would be staying in CS.
So I guessed you're number 2.
Yeah, so like... I started out college with a double major in economics and computer science, and I can do it, but I really don't enjoy it that much. Like, I'm in economics because I really enjoy the subject. It's something I really care about and something I'm passionate about. CS I could do, and I'd find a stable job, but I don't think I'd enjoy it very much, just on my experience of having studied it for a little while. Like, I'm happy I did it, but at the same time, it's just, I know that it's not for me. Because I think as much as there's an emphasis nowadays to try and get everyone to learn how to code, not everyone should learn how to code. Like, there's some people that aren't cut out to be coders. And, like, that's something I realized through studying CS. Like, it's not a golden ticket. You still have to be good at coding. Like, you have to have an affinity for coding and algorithmic thinking and a tenacity towards dealing with coding problems. But all that said, it's probably what if I was being realistic, if I wasn't doing economics, that's probably what I'd be doing, would be CS, and I'd probably be a little more sad. Probably would be.
F'd all those CS boys out there.
Look, I mean, I have a lot of respect. Like I said, I've tried it, and I respect people that do it, but I just think it's not for me.
What you're saying is you wouldn't have a lot of self-respect if you were doing CS.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, it's not something I would really want to do. Like, I'd be kind of miserable. Yeah, 'cause it's like, I found that the way I think doesn't lend itself well to CS. Like, I can think in CS terms, but I think I don't know, it just doesn't click as well for me as it does for other people. Like, I know you click into the world of coding and like stuff like that a lot better than I do. And I think that's just like a personal thing.
Yeah, I just sort of get this kind of techie stuff, but that's what I do.
Yeah, I just think like people do different things. Like I said, like some people are good at some things, other people are good at other things. I think I just acknowledge the fact that I'm not good at CS, and I should, instead of trying to like punch through a brick wall, I should find something else where I can be more effective. Like, that's just the way I see it. Like, I have no ill will towards CS as a subject. I think it's really useful and interesting. Like, I legitimately think it's really interesting. It's just that I'm not good at it.
Yeah, that's perfectly understandable. Yeah. Also, we have a guest on the show today.
Really?
Everybody, if you'd like to meet my cat, she's here.
Java's
she's
back.
chilling. Let me see if I can get her to purr into the mic.
Speaking of coding, haha.
Shut the hell up.
I think you mean system.out.print.
She doesn't want to say anything. Also, sorry about all that noise. I just realized how loud my microphone is. I'm going to move back a bit. That also reminds me, this is definitely a new tab, but have you seen what Red Hat has done with Java?
I have not.
So Oracle has been making tons of like licensing changes to Java, and people aren't happy with it. So Red Hat has just gone out and released open source Java.
Jesus. Can you do that?
Yeah, they just have open Java now. Huh. It's like, cool.
I mean, nice. Yeah. I feel like the Linux people are going crazy right now.
Well, Linux people aren't too happy with Red Hat because of what Red Hat is,
but like open source.
Open source is great. Yeah.
Linus Torvald is literally Jesus.
He's literally God.
Yeah. Open source. Any company is evil. Like Microsoft is like the S is $, soft. And Apple is evil, and Dell is evil, and you should build a Linux PC.
Dude, Max spelled backwards is scam.
Yeah, it is. So Linux forever. I only use LibreOffice, and I don't have many friends.
Or OpenOffice. You can use both.
I use both regularly.
But not only LibreOffice.
Yeah,
don't forget.
Because like that wouldn't be very open source of me.
You can be a simp and use GIMP.
I have GIMP installed on my computer. Yeah.
That should be like their marketing ploy. Don't be a simp. Use GIMP.
Here's the thing, because I feel like GIMP also has okay, so for those of you who are really confused, GIMP is a open source image editing software. It stands for GNU Image Editing
GNU Image Manipulation Program.
GNU Image Manipulation Program. So that we're not talking about another kind of GIMP. That's a whole other thing. Kind of thing you might find on OnlyFans, everyone's favorite gamer site. So
yeah, everyone's favorite gamer site.
Yeah, so we're talking about like their mascot's like a little dog with a brush in his mouth. Like that could also be interpreted. God damn it, I'm digging myself deeper into a hole. Moving on.
Yes, you really are. Legal at sleepdrunk.net.
Legal at sleepdrunk.net. Legal at sleepdrunk.net.
Oh boy.
So what were you gonna do with your career?
Mine is just sort of a typical me thing, really not planned, but like very genuine. So my whole sort of thing is I've never wanted to be just the standard 9-to-5er. I've never wanted to be an employee, even though I absolutely have been and will be in the future.
As many of us will.
I don't like that. You know, I want to be in control of my situation, especially when you have to deal with all of the BS, really, that you generally do have to deal with in a corporate environment. And Therefore, I've always, since I don't know, for years and years and years, I've always said that I want to be an entrepreneur, and I don't know if I'll actually be able to make that happen. Hopefully, one day, maybe. I mean, you never know. But I feel like I would just like find, some sort of skill that wouldn't require, too much education. Like, I feel like I could definitely go into a trade or something, do like IT, or if I could actually get good at web development and do that as a career level business, that would be something that I would love to do. Something more of a trade, less of like I went to college for 4 years and have a degree, and that's what makes me able to do this.
Like a less academic field, a more hands-on vocational field.
And have my own business.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I still, like, obviously technology is my calling.
Yeah.
It's what I do. So, like, I feel like IT would seriously be like a thing that I would absolutely consider. Get my CCNA or whatever Cisco calls it and go do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I figured. I figured you'd go somewhere that way. I mean, I will say that when you said a skill that doesn't require like too much additional training, it reminded me of another skill person in that sort of niche that you may or may not know that has undergone a similar career path based on my knowledge of said person.
I believe you were talking about a man whose name starts with an R and ends with Ian.
Actually, no, I'm talking about someone else.
Really?
Yes.
I don't actually know what you're talking about.
Talk about your dad.
And also,
because didn't your dad do that sort of?
Oh yeah.
Like, didn't he do exactly that?
And I'm sure like that is why that seed has always been planted in my brain. But
yeah, no, I think
it's absolutely something that I would do. And actually, yeah, I guess my brother is gonna be taking over the business. Yeah. It's kind of like nearly official now.
Yeah. No, I mean, I figure like that's kind of like the reason I'm going to the branch of economics I am is because of my dad. Like, my dad works in a similar field of economics, and so I'm like, I am just going after him. And
yeah,
it's something I enjoy.
I saw that connection immediately when you were talking about that. I was like,
yeah, like I mean, I think that's
I never
a
thought about
thing.
that. I mean, I guess we do all fall. The apples never falls that far from the tree.
Although sometimes it falls like really far.
Yeah, like sometimes the wind just picks that shit up and it goes.
Launched. So like either the apple gets launched or like it falls by the tree.
Yeah.
Like either someone catches it and like loads into a potato gun and just shoots it off somewhere.
Like, we're not talking catapult, we're talking trebuchet, all right?
the only siege weapon.
What was the whole like verbal copy pasta? A trebuchet can launch a 90-kilogram boulder over
it was something like
300
that.
meters.
That's a solid meme. That's old school.
Yeah.
That's like the silver age of memes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And honestly, this is something that's a little less pragmatic and my speed, but still something that I enjoy. And I don't know if this would ever be able to get off the ground, but I've always taken a liking to not your stereotypical photography BS, but cinematography.
Okay.
And like I said, I don't have any inkling of idea about how that industry works, how to get into the industry, what kind of credentials you need, what kind of people you need to know. But I just like the thought of it, and I bought some equipment related years ago, and tried to do a few things around with it, but I found that I'm just not really a creative.
See, what I'm hearing is you're going to drop out of college, buy a bus ticket to LA, lose all of your money while trying to make it big, and then come back home disappointed and broken.
The sad part is that I feel like that would hit home with way too many people.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I've heard experiences about it. Like, it's an actual, like, it's a common thing.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks, but, like, that's the truth. It's like that for a lot of the arts. Where, like, musicians will go to New York, like, jazz, like, especially more jazz, they'll go to New York and then just kind of fizzle out, because to get into the New York music scene, you have to have, like, a master's in, like, jazz and then know people to get gigs.
Really do be like that sometimes.
I mean, the life of a working musician is brutal, and actually, that's a very, very convenient segue to my third thing.
Which would about that? How about those apples right there? Mm-hmm.
So, no, I think so. My third thing is actually just pursuing a broadly creative field. Like, I'm a relatively creative person, I think, and so
definitely more so than I.
Yeah, and it actually probably wouldn't be music, because as much as I respect the working musician's life, I don't want to do that. It seems soul crushing. I'd probably go into like writing or journalism or maybe cooking. Like those are two things I could actually see myself doing as like a profession. Like I enjoy writing. I
actually said that years ago as a kid. I talked about going into culinary.
I mean, and like I enjoy cooking, and for me the big thing is just writing and journalism, because I enjoy writing, and also like I personally enjoy good journalism. Like I subscribe to publications like The Economist to get like good quality journalism. And so that's something I actually like. I care about. So I could see myself going there and like just being a journalist, or just being a writer. Like I also really enjoy writing. And I know a lot of journalists transition to writers later in their life anyway. Like most of them will write a book. But and then cooking, I also really enjoy cooking. And like you've had my cooking, and I think I'm okay. I still
absolutely, yeah.
Culinary school still sounds kind of terrifying, because from what I've heard, it's kind of like boot camp, but your instructor has a knife.
Got Professor Ramsey.
Yeah. Where's the lamb sauce?
Please no.
Look, okay, you threw me the ball, and like it's either catch it or like I'm not gonna not catch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's my big thing. And for the way I put that is like in my ranking is that the military was like the most enjoyment and the least likely. CS was the least enjoyment and the most likely, and this is the one that's in the middle. Like it's possible. But yeah, I think I would enjoy it. Like I could maybe, if I learned production, see myself doing music. Like if I learned like Ableton and Logic Pro, I could see myself doing music and working more on that end. But for the most part, I don't, because for me, music is very much a hobby, and I want to keep it that way. Like I don't want to, like for example, like when I feel like I'm like kind of like I've lost the spark a little bit, like I'm not as motivated, I'll take a break, like I won't play as much, right? And then it gives me time to be re-inspired. But if that's my job, that isn't as much of an option, because I'm probably not gonna become like a platinum selling artist. I'll probably be a gigging musician. And then at that point, do I really want to? Because I think a music YouTuber I follow called Adam Neely, he had like, so he's actually part of the New York jazz scene. He's a bassist, and he talks about how if you have any doubts about going to music school, don't go to music school. Like the way he put it, I think was really nice. He said that you go to music school because you need to make music. Like that is all you can do. Like that is, you feel incomplete without making music. And those are the kind of people that succeed in music school. And so he's saying that if you have any doubts, don't go, because you probably won't succeed. And I think that's a very good way of putting it. So, time for the shit post. Now, you're definitely not going to guess this one, because this one requires me making life changes.
Absolutely not. Yeah, no, I'm not going to guess this one. I know with you more than likely this is just going to go down a giant rabbit hole.
Okay,
so let's see it.
This required me making some significant life changes around the age of 13 or 14. I'd have to make some significant life changes. But I would be an athlete, because when I was younger, I was really good at Taekwondo. Like I was one of the best students in my school. Like I started doing competitions when I got like my yellow belt. Like I was actually pretty good. And I would have continued it, but my parents, really didn't want to keep paying for the lessons, and also I was getting more into music at the time. So that would be that. Like I'd get into competitive Taekwondo. Like I have a few medals somewhere that like I got from way back when. So yeah, I have a black belt, if that's any like confirmation. Like I actually do have a black belt. It's probably not valid anymore because I got it years ago, but I did earn a black belt that was like certified by the World Taekwondo Federation. Like I'm in a database somewhere of like active black belts or something.
You're also in a database somewhere of
a lot of things. I'm in a lot of databases. Like I'm just acknowledged that.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, a lot of them.
You're on a list.
And I think with all
may or may not be a good one.
With all that said, let's fire up
Dean's list. That's it.
Yeah, the Dean's list. I actually don't think I made the Dean's list last year because of like Thicky.
Well, you couldn't have made the Dean's list last semester because they didn't have one.
Yep. I mean, is it a yearly thing?
No, it's a semester thing.
Well, regardless, I think let us fire up the covert camera of chat so we can enter information into the database of debate that's currently surveilling Discussion Avenue.
Ooh, boy.
That was spicy.
A CIA crackdown on Discussion Avenue.
Yeah, it's a little spicy. I mean, they got to get things in order.
Wow.
I don't blame them. It's been a while. Like, we've had like dog beatings. There's like some shanking, prostitution, theft. Like, they gotta
Lots of things going down on Discussion Avenue.
Yeah. Anyway, Alex, how have you been for the past week? And it has actually been a week this time, guys. We're actually recording on time.
Oh my god, that's so crazy. So, so this has been a really slow week. They've really gotten that way now that school has ended. I don't do anything. So I just make up stupid shit for myself to do. And the stupid, actually there's two main stupid tasks that have been the focus of my productivity this week. The main one being a network transformation. So kind of tangentially related to that IT career I was speaking of earlier. I'm serious when I say, it's something that I, am slightly interested in. And
I'd expect as much. I mean, you just bought a gigabit switch a while ago?
I bought like an old Cisco gigabit switch, and if you want to do anything really in depth with it, you have to use the command line interface. So
I think that's a point where you should like explain it briefly in layman. Okay, so our listeners...
So basically, you're typing stuff into like an 80s style terminal because that's the most modern stuff that Cisco could come up with. Thanks, Cisco, for making the industry standards when you're obviously not qualified to do such.
Yep.
Anyway.
A gigabit switch lets you connect multiple ports into Ethernet.
A network switch is like a thing that lets you connect lots of Ethernet devices to one another.
Yeah.
Ethernet being a networking protocol, not...
It's the little cable thing that you plug into your Xbox to go faster.
It is specifically not the little cable thing.
Okay, the cable's a Cat 5, and like Ethernet is the protocol, but most people call it Ethernet.
That does not matter.
Yeah.
Does not matter. Everybody calls it Ethernet because it's way easier to say Ethernet than to worry about the technicalities.
Yes.
When I completely understand that.
Yes. Words mean things.
But I recently bought a new router for my house.
Okay.
I got the Ubiquiti Edge Router X, and it's a very, very capable machine. And I ordered this on Thursday on Amazon for $60 or so after I saw that all of the used auctions on eBay were nearly making it to MSRP, which really just annoys me. Why would you pay that much money in an auction for a used item? But even when I try to bid snipe, dude, it's insane.
I mean, doesn't like eBay have built-in sniping software now as well?
It's not very widely used if it is a thing.
I mean, because like last time I was doing some finagling on eBay. They're just like, hey, we'll just auto bid for you until you win or lose.
Oh yeah, you can set your max bid, but people quickly find what your max bid is and go over. But anyway, I ordered that on Thursday on Amazon, and they're like, okay, well, you're gonna get it tomorrow. So Friday comes, it says out for delivery with UPS. Also, by the way, another tab, we have Prime delivery in my area now, which is
awesome.
Kind of confusing. But anyway, it says out for delivery, and then about 2 o'clock I get a notification from UPS tracking saying, your package has been delayed due to severe weather or an emergency circumstance or something along those lines.
Huh.
So it's like, what? It says it still could arrive today, although I doubt that it will. So then it says... rescheduled delivery Saturday. So I'm like, okay, whatever, one day. Wait Saturday. It never says out for delivery, and then it says, oh, it's been delayed due to severe weather or an emergency circumstance. And I got to thinking, this is like the third or fourth time that UPS has just really dropped the ball whenever I get anything shipped with them. I can't remember the last item I had shipped with UPS that they didn't just completely drop the ball with. So... way to go, UPS.
I mean, to be fair, I think up around here, we've had, like, the past couple days, we've had, like, biblic thunderstorms. So, maybe something got stuck.
Not around here.
Yeah, we've had, like intense-ass thunderstorms.
And it was,
like, the power went
in
out.
Richmond and on the delivery truck on, like, it was, like, a fine day.
Oh, okay. That's weird then.
I think maybe just the truck wrecked and then they didn't feel like delivering it on Saturday because they couldn't be bothered or something. I don't really know.
Or maybe like someone's really incompetent and fucked up 2 trucks.
Maybe they just
someone
need
is
to fire that driver.
like painfully incompetent. Like Craig, he just like, I don't know, maybe his wife died and he's just dropped the ball recently.
Of our university. What?
We went in 2 very different directions.
Just went there.
Like we both went there, but there are 2 very different places. It's like you went to like a Carl's Jr. and I went to a Hardee's. They're both there, but they're different.
They're not very different places at all.
But they're like, they're both there.
Places.
Like they're both there in the umbrella term there.
Yes, they are.
But just like they're different theirs. Like
not by a large margin.
But they are different.
They are different and they are there.
I was gonna say Lubies and Fuddruckers then. If anyone will get that.
What about Checkers and
Rallies?
What's the other one?
Rallies.
Oh. Yeah, Rallies.
Checkers is an interesting place. I have a love-hate relationship with Checkers. Like, once I was at a Checkers, and a man who's very intoxicated on a certain type of vegetal substance told me I was really spicy, and I didn't know how to feel about that.
Vegetal.
Yes. Vegetal. That is a word. Vegetal is a word.
Vegetables.
Vegetal is a word. Meaning in the likeness of vegetables.
You remember Meme Man and his vegetables?
You think I don't? You think I'm not on r/surreal memes?
No vegetables. I don't really remember where I was going with the rest of this week. Oh yeah, I do now. So basically what I want to do is essentially I want to have several VLANs on my home network that separate traffic between my traffic, management traffic, CCTV traffic, and everyone else's traffic.
You're really just going to give yourself your own
because
little
honestly,
network?
I don't care about everyone else's traffic. I just need them to have internet access. I'm the one operating this, so, if they want to have faster speeds...
You're going to become like an IT Big Brother.
Yeah, kinda. Except I don't really care to snoop around in anybody else's stuff. It just has to work. But, oh boy. So, that's the status of that project. And then, so, actually, this is something I'll tell you at another time, but this is something I probably shouldn't say on the show.
Fair.
That's a reoccurring theme.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it be how it be. So does that about wrap it up for your
yeah, I think that's
discussion?
It's been a really slow week, so yeah. I don't really have much more to talk about.
See, my week has been... It started out very slow, then got very, very fast in like a day. Like, it started out where it was a very average week. Like, I've been working, I've been doing Instacart, and I'm starting to accumulate stories. I actually did do some of that Copilot stuff I was talking about with my friend Max. I'm thinking maybe at some point I'll bring him on, and we've gained a collective amount of stories from our individual experiences. I think that can make it for an interesting bit, but that is to be determined. So I was doing that. I got, I've been very happy about how much I've been making. Like, it's paying quite well right now. So I'd recommend, if you have nothing else to do, you should consider doing it. It's chill.
Absolutely.
It's fun, and like, I think the nice thing is, like, I've learned about parts of my area that I just didn't know about before because I never really went there. But like, it's just neat, like, discovering parts of the community. There. Like, yeah.
What you're saying is you just went there.
Yeah, I did just go there, but like, I didn't know there was there.
But like, you just went there.
Actually, I went there a couple weeks ago. I didn't work yesterday, or a couple days ago. Because I didn't work yesterday.
But like, you pretty much just went there. Like, in the grand scheme of things, you just went there.
You can make the argument that I did in fact go there.
Yeah.
But so, welcome to Sleep Drunk, where he went there. That's going to be in the notes. It's like, and
yeah, that's
Alavi went there.
The thing, Alavi goes there.
Yeah, they both went there. So there's explanation for that if you read the show notes. But so yeah, I was doing orders. I've been able to work like half days and still make a profit, which has been nice. Like, even after gas, because found out I can like write gas off on my taxes because it's a business expense technically. So that's been nice. Then I also found out yesterday that I'm gonna be moving out of our apartment that we had on campus, which has been was very sudden because, so for context, my family is in fact in
Bro, I
India.
knew you were gonna move out when we before we even moved in.
No, but I'm
How'd you
moving
just
out
find this out?
like soon, opposed to later.
Yeah, but I knew you were gonna move out.
No, I was planning on just living here forever.
Squatters' rights.
Yeah, I'm just gonna squat. No, I'll be like an 8th year senior.
No, you just gotta claim that because you've been residing there, it's your property.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll become an 8th year senior. But
And why not? While we're at it.
yeah, I'll just only take one class, or actually no, I'll take a bunch of classes a semester, but none of them related to my major. I'll take a bunch of biology classes, so I'm still enrolled. I'll take some art history classes, some philosophy classes. Yeah, have some fun with it.
At what point do you have to become a non-declared?
Well, no, I think because once you've declared your major, it just means you're eligible to get the degree. So I think you can just kind of take whatever in theory, as long as you're willing to pay for the years.
Just do it all.
I don't think there's anything in there that says you don't have to. If I want to, I can probably declare consecutive degrees.
They're still getting money.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Sleepdrunk Alavi decides to be an 8th year senior. So my family's in India, and it's been quite. So they were hoping to come here for the summer, at the start of June, if not the end of May. But but given the current situation, it's been quite difficult to get plane tickets, right? Because there's they need to have evac clearance, which I think they did get evac clearance, but it's just a matter of finding the tickets, and sometimes flights get canceled, especially flights that are close towards the start of June have been getting canceled a lot. So they were having trouble, but they managed to get something. But so before I knew that, I decided, I talked to my parents, I decided to apply for summer housing here, because I figured that in case they can't make it for a little while, I won't have to move all my stuff. I'll have a place. I won't have to crash at someone else's place for a long time. So I figured I'll have a space, and that'll be fine. So I applied for summer housing. I was approved, but then I found out yesterday that they managed to get a ticket, and so I emailed housing today, telling them that, hey, I'm gonna actually be moving. But right now I don't know where I'm gonna move to. I'm apartment shopping. I'm actually going to look at an apartment tomorrow. That's gonna be interesting. It's a weird adult thing I'm gonna be doing that isn't related to a certain gamer site of a different kind of adult nature. So I think there's 18 plus adult, and there's midlife crisis adult. Those are two different kinds of adult. So I'm gonna hopefully try and move out on Wednesday. That means I'll give me some time to pack things up, and I'm gonna see if I can ping one of my buddies from around here to help me move, just 'cause it'll be a lot easier that way. But also I have to do something else on Wednesday, because so for those who don't know, I'm an avid Xbox gamer, right? I don't mess with that gay station.
Gamer boy.
And also I apologize for that homophobic slur, but so I play on Xbox, right, with me and my buddies, and I have an Xbox One from the very first wave of when the consoles were released. It wasn't a launch day one, but it was as close to launch as you can get without it actually being a launch Xbox One. And those controllers didn't have a 3.5 mil jack, which is something they remedied very quickly, but those controllers didn't have one. And so you get this little adapter, right, that you could stick into the bottom of your controller that would let you use a headset, right? So my adapter, which I've had for many years, finally kicked the bucket, which, I've abused that thing. When I was a much younger, far more epic gamer, I dropped it many times due to epic gamer rage. So, it's...
Bro, just calm down. Calm down. It's just a game.
I'm sorry. Look, he was hacking.
Why do you have to be mad?
He's hacking. He's definitely fucking hacking, Alex.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
God, I'm not mad. I'm gonna drink my G Fuel.
I'm not even mad, bro.
I'm gonna go drink my G Fuel. God.
And then cancel Keemstar.
That's been a beautiful thing to watch. It's been really a really beautiful thing to watch. For those of you who somehow don't know, check out H3H3 on YouTube and look at his recent 3 videos.
Content
nuke, nuclear fallout, and nuclear winter. Yeah. So, but yeah. So what was it? Oh, gamers, right? Gaming. So anyway, so I decided gamers. That, and so I looked online. I was like, I could just buy another adapter. So they don't really make the adapters anymore. So they're going online for $86 because they're just not made anymore. Right? And so I'm like, all right, I'm not going to spend that much. Yeah, so I'm just getting a new controller, right? But I wanted to, in theory, have it, like, I didn't want to deal with shipping, so I could, like, actually still play over the next few days, right? So I check out local retailers. So I figured that, like, I don't mind paying a little bit more to get one now, right? And just pick it up. So I think this was Friday. Yeah, no, yesterday. So I go to a couple of different sites, and so I drive out to our local Target, and I see their shelves are literally empty, like nothing there at all. All of the controllers were gone. I don't know why people are hoarding controllers. Like, is everyone that epic that they need backup controllers?
That's so God, I cannot stand that. And you know, in my area, that's only just the paper goods aisle. It's not the rest of the store. But like, God, I can't stand that. I think part of it is that awful. Like, there's been a somewhat like a reasonably small, or there's been a sizable increase in demand, but I think it might just be that people are buying more consoles and they want additional controllers for loved ones, and the supply chain just isn't used to that much demand for controllers. That might be my guess. Did you check Micro Center?
Actually, I haven't. I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. Actually, so what I did was I went to Target. Then I went to Walmart, and I realized that the Walmart was closed. So I was like, all right, let me see if I can just pick one up tomorrow. Like I do the little like ordering thing, right? Where it's like, oh, pick it up today. So this was yesterday. So I pick the only one they had was an Arctic camo one, which was nasty. Oh. It was either Arctic camo from Walmart or Sport Red for $70 from Best Buy. And at least the camo one won't get as ugly as quickly. So I placed an order for the Arctic camo one, and they say, okay, you can pick it up today. I mean, today being Sunday, right? I placed the order yesterday. So yeah. I wake up this morning, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to pick up my new controller so I can play games with it. And I get a message saying, hey, we're out of stock. Come on Wednesday. And so I have a problem, right? I have a problem because Wednesday is the day I have to, relocate where I'm living to somewhere else. And I don't really have time to go by Walmart to get a controller. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to buy one from somewhere. Probably Micro. I'll go tomorrow. So I'll just buy one, and then I'll just return the one I get from Walmart once I get it. Like, I'll just pick it up and then take it to the return counter.
Did you just cancel your order?
I tried. And looks like, because technically it was supposed to already be delivered, so I don't think I can cancel it. It's a pain.
Definitely call them up and say cancel that.
Yeah, I will. But I want to at least get a controller first. If for whatever reason Micro Center sold out, I don't want to have to bother with like reordering one. So I'll do that once I have a controller in my hand. Yeah. So that's been fun.
Actually, Micro Center, you can check their stock online.
I probably will. I'll do it after the show. But so one last thing, right? One last thing before I wrap it up. Actually, brief side note for that thing. I started watching Hunter x Hunter for all you weebs. It's pretty good. It's cool. I dig it. Yeah. So hiatus memes. There's memes about it because it's always on hiatus. Because the creator is like, I don't think he's late. I think he's just like, he likes taking his time. But regardless, tab opened and immediately closed. So today I was talking with my brother, right? Just on the phone, just chatting, catching up. It was kind of late. It was late for him. At least it was later in the day for me. And he was talking about how excited he is to come here, right? So you can finally have things like beef and like fast food. I mean, there's fast food in India, but like he can't leave his house. Like he can't leave my place there because the lockdowns are much stricter, and so it's harder to drive out. But things like beef, fast food, the conveniences of living in America that people take for granted, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna flex on you right now. I was like, okay. He's like, okay, what are you gonna do? So I walk outside. I get in my car, put my phone in my little I got a new phone holder thing for my car. That's nice. It's like motion activated and it's really cool. Stick my phone in there. I drive to our local Wendy's. I go into the drive-thru while he's still on the phone and place an order for a 4-piece spicy nuggets. Right, as one does when they want to flex on someone by going to Wendy's. So. I pull up to the counter, the pay counter. I pay, get my card back. Pull up to the pickup counter, and they say, "Oh, hey, we're cooking them up. Why don't you go ahead, wait in the parking lot, and we'll come bring them to your car." And I was like, "All right, cool, makes sense. I'll get them fresh, right?" So I pull into the car, and I'm like, "All right, just you wait. I'm gonna flex on you so hard, blah 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 blah." And then 5 minutes pass, right? I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, it's gonna come." And then 10 minutes pass, and he leaves because he wants to go to bed. And then 20 minutes have passed. Then for half an hour, I think, something is fishy. So I go back at the drive-thru, I'm like, hey, I ordered some spicy nuggets, like, half an hour ago. Can I pick them up? And they're like, oh, sure, go to the second window. And I go, then they're like, oh, I forgot, my bad. But she gave me a 10-piece, so it's kind of worth it. I got more than twice the amount of nuggets. I got 2.5 times the amount of nuggets.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it was chill. Like, I got my nuggets. You know, I didn't mind waiting too much. I just kind of like watched YouTube and talked to my brother. But I got my nuggets. So, hey.
Did get the nuggies.
Yeah. Oh, I found out Wendy's nuggets and cold refrigerator ketchup, it doesn't hit right. It just doesn't. Ketchup's got to be warm. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Good to know.
It's got to be. Like, it just doesn't taste right. Like, cold, like... warm fast food package ketchup, like, okay, everything from fast food hits different. Like, the Sprite hits different, right? Things taste different out of a fast food cup, and like, it's all just how it is. Like, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
They got like,
I think they just put cocaine in it.
They gotta start selling fast food juice. It's like whatever makes fast food stuff hit different. You can sprinkle it on whatever, make it like hit like fast food.
Like, how do you want it to hit? Do you want it to hit like McDonald's? Do you want it to hit like Taco Bell?
So yeah, no, they can all sell their, like, it can be a whole company. They have different brands.
Have their own brand.
Yeah, it's like you got like the nacho
like
Doritos and the Cool Ranch Doritos. You got the McDonald's fast food juice, the Wendy's fast food juice. I don't know, the Carl's Jr. fast food juice, and the Hardee's fast food juice.
Yeah, because those hit different.
Both hit like sadness.
But like a different kind of sadness.
Yeah.
Like, one's like a loved one died, and one's like you hate yourself.
Well, I feel like one's more like your grandpa died, the other one's like more like your grandma died.
Oh shit.
Technically, they're different. And on that note, Sleep Drunk Podcast can be found on all your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and more. And also, don't forget to share the show. You know, we really appreciate it. It helps us grow, helps us keep going, helps us fund Fast Food Juice, our new Kickstarter. And I guess with all that said,
yeah, we'll catch you next week.
We will catch you next week.